If you are running an Amazon brand and you're not using TikTok Shop yet, you are literally leaving hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table. And I'm not exaggerating. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the exact numbers we're seeing with our clients, why TikTok Shop is not just another sales channel. It's the best place to allocate your marketing budget in 2025 going into 2026. And the halo effect that's making Amazon brands 10 to 40% more in sales without spending an extra dollar on Amazon ads. And make sure you stick to the end because I'm going to be breaking down the cold start phase and how to get past it as quickly as possible. All right, let's talk about something that most Amazon sellers don't even know exists, and it's the halo effect. Let me just break it down, and we're actually going to hop on the computer for that. So we're on the computer now, and this is the halo effect, right? On TikTok, let's just say you do $100,000 in sales on TikTok, you're probably going to see a 20, maybe a $10,000 in sales just from that $100,000. Now, it is very hard to track that sometimes just because there's not a software out there that just says if you spend $1 here, you get 50 cents on Amazon, right? But you could just assume, right? It's just educated guesses because let's just say if you get a really viral video one day and your Amazon sales spiked up, you could pretty much draw the conclusion that it spiked up because of those views, right? And that's pretty much the halo effect. And honestly, some brands even see upwards of 40% spillover, which is insane. The most I've seen with the clients that we have is 25%. And that's absurd, right? Because you're not spending money on PPC for that. Those are just free acquisitions, and also it helps your ranking with Amazon. And this is pretty much how the halo effect actually works. So first, they see a TikTok video, right? That's pretty much your awareness. That's the first point of contact with a customer. Then they view the product on TikTok. Sometimes they buy it, sometimes they don't. And that gives you two equations, right? When they buy it on TikTok. Let's just say they didn't buy it because the biggest reason is trust. Obviously, a lot of people still don't trust TikTok as a platform. It is starting to shift a little bit now, especially since they just sold to Oracle, a US-based company. But they search it on Amazon, then they buy it on there, right? Which is great because it helps your organic ranking and you don't pay no acquisition for that pretty much, right? Amazing. We all love that. You're essentially getting Amazon to close the sales that TikTok started. And Amazon loves this. You're bringing them external traffic and they always reward those who bring more customers on the platform. And that brings me to my next point right here. Amazon algorithm loves external traffic because it makes Amazon more money without them having to acquire that customer. Let's just say someone views your product and they're like, hey, I'm gonna buy on Amazon. They go on there, they buy it, then they scroll down. Hey, I kind of need a toothbrush. I kind of need toothpaste. I think my lotion bottle is running dry. Let me actually get it now since I'm already on the platform, right? Think about that. That's so powerful. And a lot of brands pay a shit ton of money for that. And also, if you're driving external traffic, those customers pretty much already want your product. They know your product. They just want to get it in like a day or two. They are ready to buy. And like this graph right here, the more traffic you send over time, your ranking just gets so much better. And if you're an Amazon brand that just launched recently, you know how hard it is to get ranked, especially get placed in the first page. Well, guess what? TikTok's a little cheat code, I like to say, and it's not even against the guidelines, so don't even worry about it. Now, here's where TikTok completely changed the game when it comes to ad spend. We've been talking about TikTok so much, also Amazon. We talked a little bit about PPC, but now we're going to talk about GMV Max. And some of you might not know what GMV Max is. GMV Max pretty much is TikTok's AI powered system. Most Amazon sellers are used to spending all day making sure their keywords are optimized, their campaigns are running well, and it's actually pretty exhausting. Now, TikTok Shop is the complete opposite. Now, I have it broken down right here. Obviously, as you can see, Amazon PPC, manual keyword optimization, constant bidding adjustments. You control the placements. Now with TikTok GMV Max, AI handles all optimizations. You only focus on the content, which is great. And TikTok allocates budget automatically. So you don't have to do a $1 bid there, 50-cent bid here. TikTok automatically does it depending how good the video is. With GMV Max, you literally just focus on creating great content. TikTok's AI literally shows it to the right person at the right time, and it automatically puts the budget depending on the video. But let me actually give you a real life example with one of our clients. So real example of GMV Max. Let's just say right now we're spending about $1,000 a day, and that's our budget roughly. We're actually spending anywhere from $700 to $800, but we have a $1,000 budget on one of our stores. We're averaging a 10 ROAS. That is $10,000 in sales. So we're getting a 10x, which is insane. If you have ever ran PPC, you know how insane it is to get a 10 ROAS. But there's two sides of this, right? Let's just say we're optimizing strictly for margin. If we're optimizing for growth, I'm pretty confident we could spend $4,000 a day, averaging a 4 ROAS. And if we do that, that's $16,000 a day in sales with a brand that was launched this year, 2025. And that's why I love GMV Max, because it all depends on your goals, whether you're trying to maximize your profit or maximize your growth. And that's a question I see most brands do not ask themselves, because everybody tries to do a mixture, which you can, but you just have to be aware that you are trying to do a mix of two. And here's the other massive advantages with TikTok. TikTok is all about organic reach. Now, Amazon doesn't really have that. Affiliates means that you have commission only sales, which is great because that means you only pay them a 10 to 30% commission depending on where you want to land at. And that's after they make the sale, not before. You don't have to pay them a $50 per video, $100 per video base rate. Now, a lot of brands do that just to speed up their growth, but it's definitely not needed. And if you have a piece of content that goes viral, it means free sales on top of GMV Max, and you get a higher ROAS. And I didn't even plug this in, but you also get sales on Amazon because you're going to get natural spillover. Like we mentioned, it's going to be anywhere from 10 upwards of 40%. On Amazon, if you're not paying for ads, you pretty much do not exist. On TikTok Shop, you could have thousands of affiliates and they only get paid when they drive a sale. And here's a plus. One viral video could make you upwards of $100,000 in revenue without a single penny in ad spend. And if you back that up with GMV Max, it could make you upwards of $1 million in revenue. And shameless plug, if you want to learn a little bit more about GMV Max and exactly the strategy we use with our clients, I actually have a free video on my YouTube. It's probably going to be plugged in somewhere in the bottom. You can go ahead and check it out. Now, let's actually talk about brand awareness for a second. Now, we all know everyone shops on Amazon, but no one is doom scrolling Amazon at 11 p.m. before they have to go to sleep. Now, I have two phones on my computer right here, and phone number one is buy mode. That's Amazon, right? People go to Amazon when they want to buy. They know they are going to buy something when they hop on the platform. Now, let's just say phone number two, they go on it for discovery mode. People are going on there to be entertained, maybe learn something new, and maybe find a specific product, because now people actually search up what type of skincare should I use for X? What should I use for this? And stuff like that, which is crazy because that's where people go. Now they use TikTok for discovery, then they hop on to Amazon for buy mode. And I actually have a crazy statistic from TikTok. They have 1.5 billion monthly users, not million, billion, which is insane. And the average time per user is 52 minutes per day. We could just round that up, saying an hour per day per user. That's an hour every single day that your product could pop up on someone's page. And not just someone, 1.5 billion users. Think about how much you would have to spend to get in front of 1.5 billion people. And I'm not saying by you posting one video, you're going to get in front of those 1.5 billion. But if you have 1,000 affiliates posting 2 videos a day, yeah, you could see how it could really start ramping up. Now, I do want to touch on something clearly, and it's about being a new brand or being a already established brand on Amazon. Because you might be asking, hey, I just launched a couple months ago. Could TikTok even be worth it for me when I'm still trying to figure out Amazon? And I got this graph right here. So let's just say for established Amazon brands, you have a saturated Amazon market, high PPC costs, and competitors everywhere. I know multiple brands that were first in their category and they're barely making page one on Amazon. I think we all know you don't have to be the first, you just have to be the best. But now let's talk about new brands that just launched, let's just say in 2025 going forward. You can't compete on Amazon yet because you're not going to be on page one, you're not going to beat someone with 3,000 reviews, and you're not going to have no ranking. So whether you're a new brand or already established brand, you're fighting tooth and nail for rankings. Your PPC cost keeps on going up and your margins are getting squeezed. TikTok Shop is your escape hatch. It's a fresh platform that you could dominate before your competitors even figure it out. And here's actually something crazy that we've noticed. We've seen TikTok native brands beating their Amazon competitors. We've personally helped TikTok native brands launch, and now they're outselling their Amazon competitors on their own platform. They're already doing great on TikTok Shop, and now they're dominating on Amazon. And we are talking about brands that have been around for years before this brand launched. And you might be asking why? Because they build an audience, they create content, and by the time they launched on Amazon, they already had thousands of customers searching for the name on the platform. And here's something I want to throw in there. Brand awareness on TikTok equals Amazon dominance. If you crush it on your category on TikTok Shop, you are going to do very well on Amazon. So let me just give you some stats that should make this a no-brainer. TikTok Shop GMV grew 400% in 2024. They launched in 2023 and now we're in 2025. We're only 2 years in. 53% of TikTok users bought something after seeing it on the platform. More than half. Insane. And this one's for my Shopify brands. Brands on TikTok Shop see a 60% lower CAC than Meta ads, which is insane. I mean, just imagine your CAC is $10. We drop it by 60% now. Just imagine that. How much points does that add to the bottom line? How much more customers could you get now? And I do want to say, this is not a guarantee. This is not me telling you, hop on TikTok Shop, your CAC is going to drop down by 60%. I personally guarantee it. No. But if some brands are even reporting this, it's insane and it should deem it worthy for you to try it out. And here's what you you need to understand as an entrepreneur. It's still early. You know, being early is what really pays off. The founders who win are the ones that get on platforms when it's early, not when everyone's already there and it's saturated. Right now, TikTok Shop is that opportunity. Your competitors, most of them are probably still debating whether to be on the platform or not. That's your window. The brands who are moving now are the ones that are going to be their category leader in 12 to 24 months. The ones who are waiting, they're going to be playing catch up and wondering why it's so much harder. You're a seller. You know what early adoption looks like. This is it. Take advantage. Now, this video is not going to be all sunshine and rainbows. I'm not going to lie to you. TikTok Shop is not going to be very easy. Nothing is. But if nothing is, you might as well bet on something that's going to be very rewarding. And the hard with TikTok, I like to call it the cold start phase. It's the first 30 to 60 days. You're testing content, you're testing affiliates, you're figuring out what converts for your brand on the platform. And I actually have a graph right here. In my opinion, after the 30 to 60 days, you should have a good understanding on what a good hook for your product is, what a good body, what a good call to action, pretty much what a good video is for your product. And if you notice, there's a massive spike around the 60 to 90 days because in my opinion, that's where you get out the cold start phase if you're actually putting the time and effort into TikTok. But guess what? This is where most people quit, the 30 to 60 days. They send out 100 samples, they don't see immediate results, and they just bail. But if you made it this far into the video, I'm pretty sure that is not you. As a founder, you know success doesn't happen overnight, but with TikTok Shop, it honestly feels like it. Because once you get past the cold start phase, that's when the real scale starts to happen. The key is knowing how to get through the cold start phase, and that's where most brands do need the help. So here's the deal. If you're an Amazon brand watching this video and you're like, okay, I need to try TikTok Shop out, you're right, but you do not have to figure this out alone. Whether you're already on TikTok Shop and you can't seem to get through the cold start phase, or you're not even on the platform and you're not sure where to start, this is literally what we do. We help Amazon native brands launch and scale on TikTok Shop. If you want to work with our team, there's going to be a link down below. We'll look at your brand, your product, and we'll actually decide how we'll launch or scale your brand. And if you actually got value from this video, feel free to drop down in the comments below your biggest question about TikTok Shop. And make sure you hit that subscribe button because I'm posting weekly videos helping you crush it on TikTok Shop as a founder. I'll see you on the next one.